Hello everybody, and welcome back once again to Let's Play CK2, Crusader Kings 2, the Rogue Viking series with Duke Johann of Cumbria. Right, this session is going to be around about sort of 25 minutes long to half an hour tops. I've got to rush off this evening. Unforeseen plans have cropped up and I was planning on just chilling out and having a nice session here and just uploading it when it's ready, but I ain't got time, so I'm going to have to get through as quickly as possible. And so let's get to work, shall we? No time for too much flim-flam here. So in the last session, Duke Johann rose to the heir of the kingdom due to an overwhelming vote, a landslide victory. The dukes and duchesses and the king himself across the land thought that he was the next man for the job, and therefore that was the first shock. And then a couple of wars broke out. First of all, the revocation here of Dunbar, which the king has pressed, even though he can't really spare the troops to do so. He's not going to be known as a king that was great for warring, battered by France, and now in a situation here which is not looking too good, but never mind. And then this situation here, which we didn't cover in the last session. It seems that King Idwal the Old wants to regain Perfedwidled, yeah, that county, from the king. We conquered that a few years ago and he wants it back. And again, the king is powerless to stop this. Now, as a future king, the dukes are probably looking at us with close eyes. You know, that they're really taking note of what we do. We're always under the spotlight, under scrutiny. And anything we do or don't do may lead to them changing their mind about us. Now, we are also the king's right hand, the chancellor. And so, given we could be in charge of this country, it's important that we ensure that we conduct ourselves now as if we were we in charge. Were we the king? And if we were the king, we would not allow our people, as they are now, to be besieged by the enemy. And so we will take it upon ourselves to demonstrate the kind of protection the people of our land can expect from a noble ruler. And we're going to put this down. We're going to deal with this situation and demonstrate to the dukes and everyone else exactly why they have chosen us to be the next king. And then if we've got time after that, we'll just kind of put this duke in his place as well. But this is the priority. We lose this war, whoop-de-doo, the revocation doesn't happen, but the land still remains in the hands of the English, or the Anglo-Saxons if you will. Down here, if we lose this war, we lose a county. And that's quite an issue. But before we raise our banners, before we raise our men and march out onto the battlefield, there's pressing issues closer to home. Yes indeed, Blanca slept with some other man. She committed a sin, went against one of the commandments. She slept with none other than this man, Earl Balthier, the seducer of Lancaster, who our potential future friend doesn't like very much, who we don't like very much. Both of us consider him a rival, and therefore surely his time is numbered. So there's two people to deal with here. So we turn first of all to the woman we have control over, because she's in our cells at the moment. That's Blanca. Now, I have done some thinking, of course, says Johann. And unfortunately for this woman, she has committed a grave sin. And as just and as fair and as kind-hearted and temperate and whatever else this man is, he is a ruler nonetheless, and has to set an example. He's a noble man, and there's certain standards expected. She's a low-born woman who has slept with another person when married to us. Now, in these times, that was a very, very bad thing to do, unfortunately. And the punishment was death, execution. And this shall be no different. She will be put to death for her crime, and we will not lose any sleep over it. But there is a slight issue with that, in that she is pregnant, and it is not the child's fault. And therefore, once she has given birth to said child, we shall take it into our court, and when we have the capacity to do so, we will teach it the virtues and the ways of being a good Catholic, so it doesn't repeat the acts of its mother and father. And if I cannot teach it because I'm rather busy, then we will entrust the tutelage to one of our most trusted council members or advisors. At the moment, that's probably Uhtred. Now, we cannot expect her to give birth to a child in the cells, and her being cooped up in a squalid condition is not going to be good for the pregnancy. So, for the time being, we're going to put her under house arrest so that she can have better conditions, enjoy, if you want to call them luxuries, befitting of her station for now, and then when the child is born, she shall be executed, plain and simple. So her days are numbered. It's a crying shame because we liked her quite a lot. But then we turn our attentions to this man, and he too cannot go unpunished. Now unfortunately we can't compel our neighbour here to revoke his title or do something else to him to get rid of him for this foul deed, to execute him for his part in this crime, and we can't really do anything like that either. So the only thing that we can do is try to grease those wheels to make him seem even more of an unsavoury character in the eyes of his liege lord and the eyes of others. And the best way, and pretty much the only way we can do that, is to have him excommunicated. You see, he's got similarities with some heathen down here, some king or other. And like we have risked in the Pope's seer to have this man excommunicated, same thing's going to happen here. Only this time we're rather busy with the war about to start, so we're entrusting it to our council member who is in Rome right now, and that is Uhtred himself, requesting this man be excommunicated, and hopefully someone out there will do something about it. So he's excommunicated, she's going to be put to death. That is that little situation dealt with. But now there's another situation to put right. Now we can raise our banners. Now unfortunately we have recalled our marshal too late for him to grant us additional troops, but allowed more time to do so. He's almost doubled our levy. Our French marshal, given his insane martial ability and his expertise in the field when it comes to all things military, he's managed to convince a hell of a lot more people to join the ranks. But they're not trained up yet. They're not ready. So we're going to have to bolster our numbers with the support of our daughter-in-law like we did last time. But even that might not be enough given the large numbers in the field here. This man has an ally in the Tyronians. So we're going to need some additional assistance. And so now finally is the time. Not the best time to do it given that we're under scrutiny from fellow dukes, but hopefully they can see the reasoning behind our actions. But those Jewish sinful merchant money lenders, we're going to have to receive some of their money to fund a mercenary company. Now I've had a look through the mercenaries available, because the mercenaries that we would be hiring need to be led by a man of good intention, and he would have been perfect because he's brave, he's zealous, he's temperate, he's got one eye. I mean, how cool does he look? But unfortunately he's already hired, which is a crying shame because he would have been ideal. So he's going to be the man we approach, and his band shall be the one that we pay. He's already got a contract with King Ethelstan. I didn't notice. Bugger. Right, Swiss band it is then. He's the next best. Never mind. Can we have your services, sir? Or are you bloody hired out as well? No, you're not. Right, fine. Come forth. Come forth. It was actually, so he's hired. He was my first choice. He's hired. He's my second choice, and he's also hired. It's a pretty crying shame. People obviously have hired these men because they are good intentions. They are very honourable men. Other people see like we do. Even the king himself. Right then, so we raise the troops. But before we do any of this, we need to join the war. To claim Bevwood lad. Actually, we have to wait for him to accept our offer. Oh, excellent! He's got on very well with the Pope. Managed to make him understand what a benevolent and pious ruler we are, and is also just about to write to you to tell you that he agrees that this man shall be excommunicated. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. There you go. He will gladly accept our assistance. Sure, of course he will. And the Pope has excommunicated this man as well at the same time. There you go. So now hopefully somebody will act against him. I'm hoping it's this guy because it will create quite a nice bit of role-play moment in that we are trying to befriend each other. We both don't like him. That will be a great opportunity for him to kind of offer that olive branch of friendship out. Yes, I've dealt with him, as should be dealt with. Come round to my house for tea and biscuits. Okay, so now we are at war. It is time for us to ask her to assist us. Call to arms. There must be a war that the Duchess can be called to. Oh, so it has to be actually my war, does it? To invite her across? Oh, that puts a slightly different slant on things. Oh well, looks like I'm going to have to do it with just his men and my men. Which still should be enough. Hopefully. But we need as many men as we can, so we're going to raise our vassal levy too, even though they're not going to like it in the long term. Hopefully we won't keep them for too long. We're going to muster the troops, and then we're going to go forth. Hopefully they will remain separated so we can take them down individually. No, they're going to go and march together, which is the thing that they should really do, but that was a thing that I was hoping they weren't going to do. Right. As the troops muster, we have a very slight numerical advantage, but it's nothing major. Right. And there's no river crossing penalty here. Oh, this isn't clear cut. This isn't clear cut, folks. Oh, 452. Right, we're going to need their help. I'm wondering if we can... It's not our war, you see. So we can't say to him, like, can you just hop across, mate? Can you just hop across? Help us out in this battle here. An extra 400 men would be very useful. Okay, that's fine. Right, and the reason why I've done that is I want him in this. I want him leading the centre. I want him leading the centre. Or do I want him leading the flank with the most men? Let's have a look at what he is. He's an organiser. Logistics. A strategist. Yes, I'm thinking he should probably be at the centre, right? He's the main organiser. Of course, Elsiger is a trickster as well. We've got a couple of tricksters in there. So Elsiger's there, and then we'll have the leader of the band over that side. And that's quite proficient. That's quite a proficient army. That's not too shabby. So with a bit of luck on our side, I think we should be fine here. But this is not straightforward. Forward holding point. Let's go. He's disbanded the Gavelkind succession law, which is very, very good. Is that my Uthred? No. Idle council members. Who's idle? He's been booted out of Constantinople, it seems, again. Yeah. Right, well... you got a bit of luck from Capua last time, so let's go back to Capua. Okay. Right, no more disturbing me, please. He's like sat in his study waiting for news all the time. What's happening with the war effort? What's happening with the war effort? Right, here we go. So this is it. Where are they going? Oh, they're mustering. Let's just see what they do. Will they come and help us if we start to wage war? Let's wait for them until like they've merged. Where's it going? Powys. Get to Pout. Right, let's go. Let's go. Let's do this. Kind of tempted, you know, just to wait for them to kind of... Are they gonna... They may be looking to merge with us. Let's just wait and see if they're... And they may be looking to merge here. They may be looking to merge. We'll just hang fire for a second and see if they're looking to merge. Yes, they are! Look at that! That's good! We've lost Diligent. What? Work has become boring and the hours of the day drag on. This is because he's waiting for news here. He's stopped doing things. Oh my god. Eckenbert beams a smile at you whilst handing over a pouch of gold. He claims it contains the savings accumulated from hard work and donations from the richer families in your realm. How very spiffing marvellous. 300 gold! Holy smoke bags, that's insane, right? That's going to allow us to repay this money as quickly as possible back to the Jews. In fact, we could probably pay it back now, but we'll wait till the war's finished. But that is great. That is absolutely perfect timing. In fact, we'll still maintain, now that we've got a bit of pot of money, we'll still maintain. I was considering collecting taxes, but no, we'll still maintain, administer the realm, looking at conversion, culture, conversion, still makes sense. Right, but this, I like this. I like the fact that the army is walking right past us. Okay, I stand corrected. Let's go forth to war then, shall we? They're going to get a bonus apparently. Why are they getting a bonus? Defensive bonus from the hills. That's not ideal when the numbers are tight. Nothing we can do. Yeah, I was considering waiting, because they're besieging, aren't they? So waiting for this army to dwindle a bit due to losing men from the siege before we strike. But we should have this. Right, come on. Here we go. Oh, really, Eckenbert? I'm in the middle of war here and you bother me with this? All the good work he has done lately, he's reminding us. He thinks that with a fair compensation from his own pocket, the county of Westmoreland is only a modest request. He wishes for Westmoreland. Oh, wow. I mean, that's a lot. That's a very, very high price to pay, unfortunately. And we give out these titles when people deserve them, not when they come asking with a coin purse full of gold. We wouldn't call it blackmail, but we'll call it ambitious at best. You will be repaid, but not like this. Oh hell. This is looking like we're not doing too well. It's looking like we are not doing too well. This centre line is really looking strong. Our centre line is not looking quite so strong. They're engaging. We've got this flank sorted. This flank is looking like it's working. I will ask him. I will ask him. Pursuit. Yes, we've got 2 flanks. That's it. Helping. That's helping now. Surely that's helping. Team up. Team up. Team up. God, this man in the centre flank is quite tough. Right. Okay. Good. Can we continue to converse? Okay. Having the opportunity to spend a few days with Aidbold allowed me to show him all the wondrous books I have gathered in my library. Honest. Give him something from my library. Or I hope we could trust each other. Yes, I hope we can trust each other more now. Simple as that. I think we should have this now, right? Holy cow, this is not straightforward. This is not straightforward. Oh, look at that, he's adopted my own lifestyle. Very good. We must have him here. We must have him. By the skin of our teeth, mind you, but we must have him. Holy hell! Holy flippin' hellfire. Right. Victory. By the skin of the old gnashers. Captured in battle. We have captured somebody. Is he... Yeah, we've captured his son, look. We've captured his son. Perfect indeed. How much do you care about your son, my friend? Right, I told Agatha to stay at home, but just as I finished purchasing my gift to her, I turned around and see her trying to hide from me. Surprise is ruined. Grab her by the ear and have a serious talk, or, well, you know... Nah, we'll just a little tight, bless her. What can you say? Right, this is... Oh, Duke Adrian's liking us a bit more as well. Let's just take a... Whew, this is very tough indeed. Right, Eadwulf of Dunbar is now known as the Butcher. She's now known as the Just, which is really good. And somebody's bored of favour. What now? What's all this? Duke Fruthrith is now Marshal. We've imprisoned that man's son. Oh dear, quite a few people have been imprisoned by Duke Eadwulf of Northumberland. Now, he's been called the Butcher. He's probably executed most of them. Poor souls. Right. He's still got a fair few men left. We've got to be very careful here and try to strike while the iron's hot. 2,300 men, 558. I think we just sit here. Oh, here we go. So a daughter was born to Duchess Blanca the Unfaithful and Earl Balthea the Seducer, named Elbira. Bastard child. Right. Which means only one thing, my friends. It means that we now are in a position to deal with Duchess Blanca the Unfaithful. I'd like to say I'm sorry, but really I'm not. There was no excuse for what you've done, and it is a crime punishable by execution, and so it must be. Goodbye, Blanca. Hanged on the order of Duke Johann. Right. Well, now it's not the time for wife hunting, so we'll get to that if and when we're victorious here, fingers crossed. So take a little time, but hopefully not too long. Hopefully we don't lose too many men before this other army comes back, because it will be another tough fight, and that was too close to comfort the first time. Could hire another set of mercenaries, you know, just to really make sure. Ah, they've dwindled even further. They're screwed now. Thankfully. So this is quite a momentous occasion. The king himself could not muster the men to do the job, to save our land from being clawed away, stolen by our Welsh neighbours, and yet Duke Johann, oh hell, what's going on now? And yeah, he's taken the bull by the horns and done it himself as a duke. No other duke or duchess in the land has raised their banners to assist the king. Oh no. But Duke Johann has, the heir. And when before the Earl here said, no, I'm not going to vote for you anymore because you, my friend, Eadwulf of Northumberland, have plotted against me with the king, I'm going to vote for myself. Even he's changed his mind again and thought, you know what, perhaps I was hasty. Right, Duchess Aelfkith has just declared Duchess Aelfkith the just swore to revoke Northampton. Now, is Northampton one of the duchies that has been in charge or has been run by one of the cynical men? Yes, it is. So look what's happening, my friends. Look what's happening before our very eyes. The very daughter-in-law who we have taught, given a bit of spiritual guidance to throughout the past few years as she was growing up. Taught her how to be a good Christian woman, and how those skeptics and cynics in her land were, well, best dealt with before they allowed their reach was allowed to spread too far. And then married to our son, who we have moulded, of course, in our image as best we can. He too has probably put a little bit of pressure on her. And finally, she's decided to take action. And she's going to revoke this man's title from him. Good for you. And she's made our son the steward. Of course he would. It's the most logical thing to do. I could hear someone sneaking around his side and believed it to be a burglar. When I went downstairs, I discovered Senred opening one of my letters. That's not a good thing to do, but we don't want to clout him round the ear. It would be good to practice some reading. As you see, we're a bit soft with our children, but we are, of course, going to have a word and tell him that it's not on. But by the way, it's good to see that you like to read, because reading is good. Knowledge is power and all that. Right. They've now decided to besiege Oxford, which is really not going to get them very far. See how much war score we get from conquering this place, which name I won't pronounce. Increase council power in England, you say? get a fair bit. We're probably going to need to go across and besiege one of these lands, I think, maybe, to get the job done. Alternatively, we could try to defeat this army. So that faction is going to get quite a bit. Look at that now. 2,760 men, which is 154% of the king's power. Duke Adrian of York has joined it. The Duke and my daughter-in-law in cahoots with each other. Isn't that kind of ironic? Right. We're going to go to the end of this year. Duke Aged for England faction. Well, that's even more direct than trying to change the succession law. Changing the succession law is kind of an indirect way to try and put yourself there, but just by openly saying, you know what? Oh, look at that, she's returning the favour. She's returning the favour. Whoa, now if that was to fire, that would really be a rather interesting situation to find ourselves in. What would we do? Oh boy. Another victory, 64%. This is very, very close. Very, very close. Right, we need money. Not desperately, but we could do with a bit more money, so we're going to have him go out and collect taxes. I'm thinking a second mercenary band, just to bolster. Could well be in order. We'll just finish off this last city first, see how close we get to victory. See, look, we're losing men, you see. So the siege. That's 91%. So close, right. Perhaps it could help me increase Duke Abel's opinion of me if I sent him a gift as a show of friendship and good faith. Works of art, fancy gift. Not to spend too much thought on it, that's not a good idea. Work of art? Fancy tree? No. We don't need to send gifts. Friendships are not there to be bought. If he wants to be our friend, it will be due to, you know, our good company, our honour, shared ideals and all that kind of jazz. Right. Now this should slowly increase because we have occupations. What to do, what to do. Look at that. That's not good either. Seems to be suffering attrition, you know. Just gonna wait. Play the patient game here. They're suffering attrition, so should be losing numbers. We're gaining a percentage every time, although we will lose it when he takes that. I'm thinking actually we'd be better off going round to Ulster. Actually. No, don't go that way. Fool. The conversion of Greater Poland. The tribes of Greater Poland have been converted to the Orthodox faith. A group of priests sent by Tsar of Bulgaria have performed a great ritual during which they have converted the entire population of Greater Poland alongside High Chief Mieszko and many of his vassals. With this act, the people of Greater Poland have once and for all forsaken their old pagan gods. Another country sees the light. Right, our son, I think we should be able now to teach him another virtue. we're trying to mould him as best we can in our image. So he's now diligent, patient, charitable, and humble. Okay. Right, yeah, let's keep marching. Yeah, they're getting suffering attrition. They've got to besiege far more than we've got to besiege for them, because they're taking on the whole of England, so every little holding they take is probably not. Can we move there? Ooh, we'd have to go through him. Which is not a problem, we can beat him on the way and help in 2 wars. That's a good idea. Right, yeah, see, they're losing troops. 94%. So we'll kill him, and then we'll hopefully... Yeah, we could be killing 2 birds with 1 stone here. How very useful. Right, that's it. Off we go. Off we go again. Keep an eye on this war score. Victory indeed. So, is that 10%? Only 10%, that's fine. Not going to do much now though, are you? That might just be enough just to sway it, you know. He can now besiege us to his heart's content. We've got rid of the enemy. 1 child lacks an education focus. Agatha, Johann's daughter. It's my daughter. She needs a childhood focus. Right. Well, we're going to go with the old learning focus for her, I believe. Let's just give that a bash. Speaking of kids, where is little baby Elbera? Sign a guardian for her, and any guardians out there? Uthred, of course. That's the one man we entrust to this child, and I know it's a bit early to give her an education focus, but we shall give her an education focus if we can of faith, because by God she's going to need it, given what her parents have got up to. What's happening to you? An embarrassed believer. Still in power though, it does not make us happy. Oh, our daughter-in-law is, she seems to be very pally-pally with Duke Adred. Helping each other in their factions, and now she's voting for him as the next... Oh! Whoa! Look what the hell has just happened here! Aethelstan has died a natural death at age 62. Oh! Holy smokes! Johann is the King of England! He has become the King of England. We've inherited a whole host of stuff. Oh my god, oh my god. I really was going to end the session at the end of the year. I might as well end it now. Now I have no time to look over what the hell's happening here. I have no time to go through every little minor detail, such as the wars that are going on, such as the vassals now, and all that kind of jazz. So I'm going to upload the game save, and please feel free to look yourselves if you have the ability to do so, because there's going to be a lot of work to do. King Johann of England, he's risen to this with not a single plot, scheme or murder to his name. It has been through his hard work, his dedication to his faith, and the views and the belief of his peers. That's what's got him here. And a little bit of good fortune along the way. Holy hell. Right, so there you go, folks. In the next session, I shall give you a rundown on everything that's going on, based on my findings off camera, and we'll proceed on as the King of England at age 40. This man now should have some troops to his name. Not many, because the previous king has killed most of them off, but we are now in a much stronger position to deal with pagans. Now, we certainly are not quite in a position to head across here just yet. But if we have a decent marshal, allow ourselves to recoup, maybe retinues are a possibility now, perhaps even? Yeah, you see, we might just be able, in the next sort of 10 to 15 years, if we live that long, be able to muster some kind of an effort together to maybe start thinking about that. And the next question is, my friends, who do we wish to vote for as the next king? Because it might not necessarily be our son. Depends on who is the most suitable ruler when it comes to all matters of the faith. But of course it's more than likely going to be our son, given that he's moulded in our image, a man with 4 virtues, that's gregarious, of our blood. Surely he will be the best man to continue our hard work, and as things currently stand, I think he may well be. But anyway, in the next session, lots to discuss, lots to go over. Until then, King Johann signs off for now.